My name is Prasad Krishnamurthy. I am one of the ex-co-members of IIA. I head the Insurtech vertical in Perfios and its subsidiary, IHX. So let's go on to the next session. The session is called Unlocking the Future of Insurance, Insights on the Account Aggregator Adoption. Account Aggregator has the entire framework of open financial data transmission has really taken off in the last 5 years. In the last month alone, about 400 million data transactions got delivered. Almost all the insurance companies have been enabled in the account aggregator framework. But compared to the banking transaction, say a lending transaction, about 1 crore transactions last month, the insurance transactions have been considerably lesser, about 28,000, right? And now lots of effort is going on into the adoption of account aggregator framework in insurance. And this, the report from Sahamati-IIA-KPMG delves deeper into this problem and provides insights on the growth of the adoption of account aggregator in insurance. To launch the report, may I invite Shalini Gupta, the Chief Policy and Advocacy Officer in Sahamati. Please give a hand for Shalini. Shalini leads the policy and advocacy agenda at Sahamati, shaping India's consent-based data sharing ecosystem through the account aggregator framework. She brings deep experience in financial services and institutional strategy with a focus on how regulatory infrastructure, data flows, and inclusion coverage She has played a key role in building reusable data assets for insurance, credit, and investment markets. Her work centers on trust, transparency, and interoperability in the digital financial ecosystems. May I also invite a co-creator and a contributor to this entire report, Adhiraj Bhan, a partner FRM from KPMG India. Adhiraj Bhan is an insurance transformation leader with nearly 2 decades of experience in driving strategic change, modernizing operations, and delivering high-impact results across global markets, including India, Southeast Asia, the US, global capability centers in India. As a partner in KPMG, he helps insurers navigate the regulatory shifts, digital modernization, and data-driven growth. He brings deep expertise across the insurance value chain, covering product development and innovation, system migration and data management, valuation and financial reporting, advanced analytics, and insurance risk management. Adhiraj has led IFRS 17 implementations across India, Europe, Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, and developing pricing frameworks for complex life products such as unit-linked, participating, and variable annuities. He strives to bring together risk, operations, and technology to deliver practical solutions, supporting insurers in their journey towards modernization and resilience in a rapidly evolving industry. Thank you. Over to you. So you want to take it on the mic or here? Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were taking on the mic.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I know this is a post-lunch session, so we'll keep it light and short. It's wonderful here. This is my 3rd year at India Insurtech, and we have seen both this forum and the sessions, our sessions, evolve. starting from basics of account aggregator to, a panel discussion where we were discussing the potential use cases. And today we are here with a workshop and a report launch that speaks about the progress we have made both as this forum becomes larger and the account aggregator framework becomes more popular. This year has been a milestone for Sahamati. Sahamati is an industry body for the account aggregator framework, and we are building the data layer, which is an integral part of the India stack. Over the last 4 years, the account aggregator framework has evolved to become one of the preferred, secured, consented, DPDP compliant channel of data sharing for customers. And it has established India as a leader in open finance. So what we were just talking about, some time back, this is where the entire open finance revolution is coming from. And I'll just share a few milestones from the journey. So the ecosystem now has 800 participants. So almost 800 financial institutions are using account aggregator framework. Out of which around 500 are RBI entities, 300 are SEBI entities, and we already have 65 insurance companies, including insurance brokers and corporate agents. So we already have 65 insurance companies who are live on the account aggregator framework. And we just crossed a 30 crore cumulative consent fulfilled figure on account aggregator and more than 500 crore data shares that have happened on the framework. So again, over the last 3 years, the kind of quantum jump we have seen in the scale up and adoption of the account aggregator framework has been phenomenal. Our estimates say that around 10% of the India's population has used account aggregator framework in some form and fashion, which is almost 1/4 of where UPI is today, and that's a milestone again to celebrate. On Sahamati's front, we launched a membership program in March 2025. We are nearing 150 active members, cross-sectoral. So this is a unique framework which works across sectors. So our members are also cross-sectoral. And what is most important for us in FY25 was that for the first time, the account aggregator rails began carrying new goods. So in addition to just credit and advisory, it has started carrying insurance, which in itself shows that we are moving towards holistic financial inclusion. Today, we are proud to launch the insurance report, which we have done in collaboration with KPMG India. And this report captures a key shift that is happening in the insurance sector in terms of policy, regulation, tech, data analytics, and industry innovation all coming together and delivering the best outcomes from the account aggregator framework. Because at the end of it, it is data that will drive the change, combined with technology, of course, and AI. But data will become that bedrock of any change in the insurance sector. Sahamati's mission is to empower individuals and enterprises with their own data and access financial services at affordable prices. And this has obviously been supported by FSDC, which decided to form a cross-sectoral framework. RBI took the lead, launched the framework. Ministry of Finance supported it, with their overall thrust on DPI and credit inclusion. And finally, we are seeing a host of such initiatives coming from IRDAI, which includes insurance for all by 2047, zero tolerance for fraud, which just came recently, and even, a lot of focus on digitization, where we see, a lot of synergies from account aggregator framework playing in. One important thing which we would like to focus on is that for a long time, financial inclusion in India has been treated as credit inclusion. So if someone could get a loan, we would say, we are an included society. But real financial inclusion is when an individual has access not just to credit, but also to investments, insurance, and retirement. And that's where, we'll be safe and secure and, growth oriented as an economy. So, and I don't think we need to take this example, but still it is intuitively, if you think of a small business owner and if they get a credit to grow their business, but tomorrow there is a flood or a fire which damages their factory and they are without insurance, the same loan now turns into a liability for that enterprise, right? Or a family which takes credit but has no health insurance, one medical emergency can just kind of push them into a debt trap. So without access, credit access without protection is not inclusion, it is exposure for either household or a business. And that's what as a country we'll need to, work, basically making us as a holistic financially inclusive society. And that's what Account Aggregator endeavors to do, ensure that your data is used by you to access any sort of financial services at the most reasonable, affordable cost in a convenient manner. I'll just also spend some time on, the learnings from the lending sector. Banks and NBFCs started using it to improve their underwriting processes. Today, 10% of unsecured lending in the country is enabled by the Account Aggregator framework. And we are at around 3% of the total loans disbursed in the country. Insurance took a little longer because, the way it has evolved and the customer behavior and the regulations have taken their own course. But we are now seeing insurers looking at using this data to assess who qualifies for a coverage, whether, the coverage is enough, how do you reduce the policy lapses, how do you optimize renewals, how do you detect and deter fraud at each and every stage rather than just doing that check at the claim processing stage. Can we move fraud detection as an inherent element across all, portions of insurance value chain? So the report today which we are launching will capture this turning point in clear terms. And there are some early findings captured where almost, the underwriting time has gone down significantly. Fraud prevention is being evaluated by many insurers. There is an interest in building products, small sachetized products for first-time consumers, low-income borrowers, and even MSMEs, using what is available as data. So what we will see using Account Aggregator technology, data analytics is a mindset shift. So it won't be a small tech shift, but a mindset shift, which we think will define the insurance sector for the next 10 years at least. So we really are hopeful that next year we'll come here with much larger numbers. We also have impressive numbers this time, but it would be significantly larger. We are working on expanding the financial information types on the Account Aggregator framework. We have taken feedback from insurance company for expanding GSTR, for getting ITR returns, EPFO. So all those works. For Sahamati, we take that back as a deliverable from our side. We are working on strengthening data governance. We plan to launch a consumer awareness campaign in the next 6 months. We also want to support adoption, work closely with each and every insurance company, Insurtech company, to identify areas where we can make difference and enhance the value to the insurance sector. And as we now today launch this report, we'll be very keen to get feedback from all of you, both on the report findings and how can we operationalize it at the ground level. So we'll be in touch with all of you. I'd like to invite Adiraj from the KPMG team to share the key findings of the report and take us through what we have captured there.
Thank you, Shalini. Very good afternoon to everyone. I know we're kind of running a little out of time, so I'll try to keep it very, very short. As we dive into this entire journey of financial inclusion, something Mr. Rajaraman was also talking about, I think India is in that journey of where we are trying to reach to Viksit Bharat by 2047. And I believe account aggregators, and Sahamati is going to play a very vital role here. We've seen, in the recent trends that from a financial inclusion standpoint, when it comes to, loans, lending, investments, etc., there has been some good progress. Insurance kind of slightly, running behind the scene, and that's where we came in and we wanted to kind of put up a report to kind of analyze and understand what was the reason behind it and how we can maybe project such a certain use cases which could be very, very helpful from an underwriting standpoint, from an insurance standpoint, and that's where this report comes in. Not taking a lot of time and maybe letting that time to go in terms of launching the report, just quick takeaways. This report kind of covers, we spoke to a lot of industry players who've actually adopted account aggregators and are using those data. So what are their findings and their observations? We went into some industry level, data to kind of analyze the report and identify certain specific use cases that could be very, very interesting for insurers. We've also come up with certain estimates that in case of an ideal scenario where we get more adoption on the account aggregation side, the data can be used better, then how does that really transform into numbers? From an adoption standpoint, India stands at 3.7% when it comes to insurance penetration, whereas if you talk about the United States, it's about 11.9%. And to kind of reach those levels, I think this could be a very, very big factor. And we've done some estimations where we, identified how we could at least touch 5% going in this direction. There is this middle section of people that are kind of moving from underinsured to insurable population at this stage with, the unorganized sector. And I think that is one area that we could potentially look at. That's one use case that we've identified as a part of the report. So again, I'll not get into all of the items here, but a good report to read and maybe help get some ideas on how you can utilize, especially the insurers could utilize the account aggregators data and improve that in terms of their efficiencies and productivities. Thank you so much for that. We'll just call the team up to just launch it. So Ruchi, if you could come onto the stage, and Dhruv, if you can come onto the stage, we'll just quickly launch. So we can go to the next slide. We've got a digital launch here, so there's a QR code. If you could just scan the QR code and you'll get the access to the report directly.
Thank you, Shalini, Adhiraj, Ruchi, and Dhruv. Looking forward to reading the report. And as Shalini mentioned, maybe next year we'll be talking about the new use cases that are being used in insurance.